Today we're going to take a look at one of the monsters from the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons line of toys by LJN. On the back of every carded figure there is a great illustration that I've mentioned in previous reviews featuring a War Duke and Strongheart fighting, and in the background you see the North Lord character fighting Hook Horror. So today let's take a look at Hook Horror, who is one of the monster creatures, as you can see it says here. Hook Horror came as a box figure rather than a carded figure, and is much larger than most of the figures, as you can see here. North Lord is one of the taller figures, and he towers above North Lord. It's a fairly simplistic toy with only 3 points of articulation. You can rotate his shoulders, as you see here, and his head rotates. Otherwise he's a completely sort of solid bodied figure. This does really detract from the figure because it's actually quite a nice design with simple hooks for hands and a sort of bird's beak and face for his head. It means that there's not an awful lot of sort of play ability to the character. He basically can stand and raise and lower his arms. So it's a little bit of a disappointment. These figures were considerably more expensive than the action figures, so you would expect when you're paying more that you would get more play value out of it, but as you can see, you don't really get that much extra with it. The best you can do is sort of have characters being held by him like so, which is a bit of a disappointing thing to do. LJN only produced a couple of these sort of monster figures to go with the line, Hook Horror, and there's a Bronze Dragoon as well. I guess they were more expensive to make and probably didn't sell as well as they'd hoped. They're quite nice figures to have for display purposes because they do stand taller than the other characters, so if you have your figures on a shelf these look quite good looming in the background, but as far as playability goes these are pretty poor. And that's really about all you can say about this figure. This sculpt is fairly good, in line with all of the other figures in this line, but the lack of articulation really does sort of detract from it. Thanks for watching.